My name is Fatima Behrad and I'm a PhD student at KU Leuven University in Belgium. I'm going to present our paper titled Charm, the Missing Piece in ViT Fine-Tuning for Image Aesthetic Assessment. In this work, we focus on image aesthetic assessment, where the goal is to develop models that can accurately predict human aesthetic preferences for images. These predictions can be in the form of either a mean aesthetic score or an aesthetic score distribution. When we look at how image aesthetic assessment is typically done, we notice that many current approaches rely on pre-trained neural networks. However, this common practice comes with a few key challenges. One major issue is that these pre-trained networks usually expect images to be a fixed size. Therefore, we often need to resize or crop images, which can lead to the loss of crucial elements like aspect ratio or composition. Another significant challenge is the high amount of computation for processing images at their original size. As a result, it's common to downscale them to a much smaller size to make things manageable. But this reduction in detail can be really detrimental for predicting aesthetics. There have been significant advancements in addressing the limitations of downscaling or cropping images. However, it's important to note that the majority of these approaches have been developed within the context of image classification. Therefore, they do not consider the nuances that are critical for accurate image aesthetic assessment and result in suboptimal performance. In this study, we introduced Charm, a tokenization approach specifically designed to preserve crucial aesthetic information. Our core idea is to retain a selection of image patches at their original resolution while downscaling the rest. To achieve this, we first tokenize the input using a patch size that is n times larger than the base patch size of the ViT patch encoding module. We then select a subset of these initial patches to maintain at high resolution and further tokenize them using the base ViT patch size. The remaining patches are downscaled to this base size. For efficient processing, we concatenate all high-resolution tokens at the beginning of the sequence, followed by the downscaled ones. For batching, we use padding or random token dropping as needed to ensure consistent input lengths. We then generate positional and scale embeddings to encode the spatial relationship between patches, both across and within resolutions. These positional and scale embeddings are added element-wise to the tokens before feeding them into the standard ViT encoder. For selecting high-resolution patches, we experimented with several criteria. This included focusing on regions with high frequency, high entropy, and high gradients. We also explored selecting patches from salient objects within the image, as well as a purely random selection from the entire image. Replacing the standard tokenizer in ViTs with our Charm tokenizer leads to significant performance improvements across different aesthetic assessment datasets. Also, when we tested our approach on various image quality assessment datasets, we also observed considerable performance gains. We also replaced the standard tokenizer of different ViTs with our Charm tokenizer and observed a consistent pattern of performance improvement across various backbones. Our approach outperforms existing methods in terms of preserving high-resolution aspect ratio and multi-scale information. Existing state-of-the-art models can be broadly categorized into two groups. The first group is multimodal models that use additional information beyond the image itself. Interestingly, our approach achieves comparable performance, but without relying on any extra modalities and with a significantly smaller number of parameters. The second group focus on tackling other challenges within image aesthetic assessment. However, we demonstrate that Charm can be integrated into these models for further performance improvements. Beyond improving performance, our approach also substantially reduces the computational resources required for processing images at their original resolution. As a conclusion, our novel tokenization approach balances computational cost with the preservation of crucial aesthetic information for achieving optimal performance. For more information, please read our paper, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Thank you.